Hey guys, so say you want to get into content creation and all you have is a 128 gigabyte phone. Can you actually make good YouTube videos? Maybe just make YouTube videos. Is that possible on such a small storage device in 2026? Let's answer that question right now. So one of my favorite hobbies to do as a tech nerd is to purchase used tech equipment, set it up, run it, see what I can do with it, right? And so recently I made this video about how I bought the cheapest iPhone 15 Pro Max. I was able to pass that along to one of my good buddies and excuse me, pass that along to one of my good buddies. So he's got a good backup phone, and that left me without a phone. And so my favorite two iPhones that I've ever owned was an iPhone 8 Plus. Love that phone, but it is way too outdated for what we have today. And the second one was an iPhone 14 Plus. And so I picked up a used iPhone 14 Plus. It's got a great screen, great cameras. It's a little rough on the frame, so I'm going to be getting a case for it. And I picked this phone up for like $240 or something like that from one of my favorite used electronic stores, which is Unclaimed Baggage in Scottsboro, Alabama. And so I picked this phone up. I'm not going to make any money on it. I need it as a backup phone anyway. It might turn into my primary phone. My primary device is actually a Samsung S24 Ultra, but I just love the 14 Plus so much. The problem with the 14 Plus is that it only has 128 gigabytes. So at that price point, get a great phone, runs the modern software, has good cameras. It just doesn't have the storage. And so I want to tell you guys how I manage storage on a 128 gigabyte iPhone. I've done it off and on for years. And so let me just break it down for you as best I can. So the first thing that I do is I actually have paid for the iCloud Plus subscription. Yes, I know it's cloud storage. Yes, I know it's another subscription, but I've done it for years. It's worked great on my family plan. So me and my wife share data on iCloud. I think it's about $9 or $10 a month. And guys, if you have good high-speed internet at home, your iPhone is going to manage the data on it extremely well. So even if you have a 128 gigabyte phone, it's going to offload a lot of data into iCloud, and you can access that quickly at a future point. The second thing that I do is I aggressively manage my apps. This isn't about digital minimalism per se. This is just keeping the essentials that you use on your phone. All right, so a big part of being a YouTuber or recording and making YouTube videos is actually doing the recording. So I'm using my iPhone 14 Plus with 128 gigabytes to shoot this video. Now here's a little tidbit that most people don't know. Whenever you're watching YouTube content on your phone, you're usually watching it at the lowest resolution possible. A lot of phones go into what's called data saver or storage saver or stream saver or something along those lines. And they optimize the quality, which means you're going to get like 480p or less, depending on what your bandwidth is. So most of the things, even if it says 4K in the corner, where the content creator says, I made this video in 4K, well, guess what? You're watching it most likely in 720p. All right. So you're going to be watching 720p, 480p, lower resolution, especially on a phone. And most of you guys didn't even realize that. Now, there are some of you eagle-eyed warriors out there. You're able to see it. You're able to spot it. Everything's good, right? But I just wanted to point that out, that most of your videos that are going to be watched are going to be watched at low resolution. What does that mean for most YouTube creators? It means that you can absolutely record in 1080p, save tons of space with your videos, and your phone's going to be, your videos are going to be just fine. On my other channel, some of my highest performing videos are actually shot in 1080p. I just recently started shooting in 4K. And so I just want to point that out. It's a great way to get going. You don't have to shoot in 4K. You can shoot at 1080p. All right, guys, so back inside the house, my break's almost over, so I'm going to have to get back going. But just let me know down in the comments right now. This video was made in 1080p. So let me know what you're streaming at right now. So pause the video and go check the how it's streaming right now. Are you streaming at 480? Are you streaming at 720? Are you at 1080p right now? Let me know down in the comments. I appreciate that. So this whole video is going to be recorded and edited on the 14 Plus using LumaFusion. So you can do all of your YouTube work on a 14, basically any iPhone from 13 and up. Really even 12. Some of the 12s are great. 11s are even great. I haven't tried any of those. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to go buy an iPhone 11. Let's do 11 Pro Max and see if we can actually be a content creator with an 11 Pro Max and see if anybody even notices. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see that kind of content. But the next couple of clips are going to be shot with the S24 Ultra, simply because I need to show you guys what this 14 Plus looks like. And so that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to say this. One advantage of shooting with an iPhone with a notch. Now, this is not necessarily just with, you know, an iPhone 14 Plus, but any of the iPhones with Face ID with the notch, is the notch gives you a really good target to look at, because one of the easy things to do whenever you're shooting videos is to look at the screen. And if you're looking at the screen like I'm looking at now, you're not actually looking at the people you're talking to. So if you look at the notch, guess what? Now you're looking at the camera. So let me know down in the comments, which one do you like better? Do you like it whenever I'm looking at the notch, or do you like it whenever I'm looking at the screen, kind of looking like I'm looking past you a little bit? So let me know down in the comments. Is that little tip actually helpful or not? My particular screen protector that I put on this iPhone 14 Plus is actually cut out around the notch, so it doesn't cover the notch. So I just look at the notch that's in my screen protector. And while the video's on, it also gives me a little green light to let me know it's recording. That's perfect. I love that. That's something that my Samsung Galaxy does not do. So I don't actually have a target to look at on my Galaxy phone. That causes a problem because whenever I'm recording, I have to think about the orientation of the phone. And so I'll just show you guys real quick. I think I got it right here. Yeah, so here it is. And so I just have to think about the orientation. And whenever you're recording a video, it kind of covers up these sides. So just something to think about. The notch gives me a good target to look at. Is it a big deal? No. Can you train your eyes? Yes, but I've made hundreds of YouTube videos using a phone, and I still find myself staring at the screen. In this video, you're going to see me do that already. So let me know down in the comments if you noticed it. I appreciate that, guys. All right, guys, so it's the next day, and still working on this little video. Still trying to figure out the iPhone 14 Plus. Sorry about the background noise. I live in a rural community. But basically, we've covered a couple things on how to manage with the 128 gigabytes. Knowing that, like, the most important thing is to have good cloud storage for these little phones. So emphasize that earlier in the video, but you can get away with it if you don't use cloud storage. All right. So how are you going to manage this thing? What you're going to have to do is um, you're going to have to get creative with how you're going to store your videos. So say you don't want to, I think Apple gives you like 5 gigabytes with your Apple ID just for free. And so if you don't want to pay for any storage, you can manage. Here's how you're going to do it. You're going to go purchase a few accessories, and fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not really sure, phones like this iPhone 14 Pro Max, or I just said Pro Max, the iPhone 14, really the whole series. So if you're running like an iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14, you have a lightning connector. That means that file transfers are done really slow. And so there's a couple things that you're going to be doing in order to try to offload your video footage. This gets immensely easier if you have a Windows PC, a Linux computer, or you get a Mac computer and you have fast Wi-Fi. So what you're going to do is you're going to, if you have a Mac, just take the pictures that are on your phone and your videos and just give them to your computer and store them on a solid state drive. Just buy a SSD, put the SSD on the computer, and if you're using Mac to Mac, just I want to say quick share. I got like Samsung Mind going on, but what you're going to want to do is just transfer the files over AirDrop into, from Apple device to Apple device, and then once it's on the computer, you just drop it into your file, whatever file format you want to do. It's completely up to you. The second thing that you can do if you don't have a Windows computer, but maybe you have like a Android tablet, maybe you have a Windows computer or a Linux computer, and you want to AirDrop over to them, use this cool little free application called Local Send. It's available across platform, and so you just utilize Local Send and just very similar to AirDrop. You just send the files over to the computer wirelessly. You don't have to deal with the super slow transfer speeds of the Lightning connector. Or if you have a more base model, lots of noise today, more base model iPhone with a USB-C connector like an iPhone 15, 16, or 17. Yeah, that way you don't have to deal with those super slow USB-C, USB, I think it's 2.0 actual speeds. However, I have done this myself. What if you don't have a computer, or you don't have a tablet or some other device to offload uh, the footage to? What do you do? Well, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to just deal with the storage that's on the phone, and you're going to have to transfer it with a couple accessories into an SSD using 2.0 speeds, USB 2.0 speeds. This is painfully slow. Like what takes like 2 minutes with a faster USB 3 or a Thunderbolt connector, it can take like 25 minutes. But it is a viable option, especially if you're recording in 1080p. Okay. And so what you're going to do, this iPhone 14 Plus has a Lightning connector. I've got the accessories. We're going to use those accessories. I'm going to put you guys on a tripod with my other phone and put you over my shoulder so you guys can kind of see what I'm having to do. But basically what you do is you get it's a Lightning to USB connector, or you can use like a SD card, and then you just transfer everything over. That way, just drag and drop. It just takes a minute. Okay. So if you got wireless charger, use the wireless charger. Okay. It's going to take a minute, and it'll probably drain your battery down a little bit too. All right, guys. So here's the 14 Plus. Here's my little external, my SSD. This is a 4 terabyte. You don't need a 4 terabyte, but I run my other channel. I've got all my footage on this. This is I think it's called a camera connector. Lightning. It's basically got a Lightning connector so you can power whatever USB accessory you got plugged in here. And then we're going to use a Lightning cable to power the whole apparatus. So here's how this works. Alright guys, so I have to do this in this stage. Take your camera connector, plug it in. Alright. Take your power cord, plug your power cord into the camera connector. And then take your USB and plug it in. And then you should see the drive pop up here. There it is, X9 Pro. So this is good to go. We're going to go make us a little folder over here.
under raw footage. And I've got, I'm just going to make a folder that says test. So that lives there right now. Now, if I was on Android, I would just, you know, add some documents here, but it's really difficult to do that on iOS. It's actually not difficult, but if you're used to Android, it is. So what you have to do is you need to go to the Photos app, and we're just going to grab one of these.
All right, so let's talk about
one of these videos, and I'm just going to kind of hold it, and then I'm going to go back over here to this file and just drop it in, and it should start copying. So you have to drag and drop, and it just takes its time. Done. So y'all saw how long it took to move 446 megabytes. If you're moving gigabytes, it's going to take a minute. But that's how you do it with a lightning connector. If you have a USB iPhone or an Android phone, you can just use something like this. This is the HDMI connector. It's got power. It's also got a USB. It's a slower USB, so you can do that. Or you can just try hooking up the USB-C directly to the iPhone. That worked on an iPhone 16 that I tested. And then there's no way to eject a drive from an iPhone. You just have to unplug it.
All right, guys, several days later, but that's going to wrap it up for this video. The final step in managing 128 gig iPhone storage as a content creator is going to be delete the old footage after you edit the video. So clean out LumaFusion, clean that out, get the old projects out, because they can be quite big inside of LumaFusion, and delete the old videos. So you don't need them on your phone, get them off. Unless they offload up into iCloud, and then you're good. But guys, if you made it all the way to the end here, why don't you leave me a little cowboy hat emoji? I'd love to see that. And thank you guys so much. I've been concentrating a little bit more on this channel, which is just my personal channel, versus my automotive channel, which is Germ's Garage. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link to that in the description. That's where most of my videos go. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Hope you have a great day.